Hey everybody, it's Eric and Tammy here from TechnoRV, and we are putting this video together to talk about all of the stuff that we're putting on this truck camper. And I was writing an article, and as I started to write everything down, I realized I'm just naming everything on the TechnoRV.com website, and I'm like, I don't like this.
I know.
I don't like it.
But we sell the stuff that we use, so
right.
it is what it is.
But I sounded like a salesperson,
I know,
and I didn't like it. So I thought, well, but Tammy has convinced me that there's a lot of new RVers out there that would probably could get some use out of us just kind of rolling through what we're putting on this, which is a lot of the same stuff that you'll find on TechnoRV that you'll want to put on your own RV.
Right.
And so she has convinced me that I won't sound like a salesperson.
Well, we do have some of the stuff already from the motorhome, but coming from a 50 amp motorhome to a 30 amp truck camper, the transfer is not just like, oh, let's take all our stuff from the RV and just put it in the truck camper. There are some changes we're having to make with our previous setup and things we're having to add that we never had to use in the motorhome. So
okay, so let's do it because there's a lot, but this could be useful. So the first thing is tire pressure monitoring system. The truck camper, I'll have the camper. I'm also towing a trailer, and I haven't ever RV'd without a tire pressure monitoring system.
No, on the motorhome we had flow-through sensors on the actual motorhome, and we had cap sensors on the Jeep. And the flow-through sensors can only be used on metal valve stems, which wasn't a problem on the motorhome, but the truck nor the trailer have metal valve stems, so we're not going to be able to transfer flow-through. We're actually going to be all caps this time.
Yeah.
So all cap sensors. I think we'll probably get the new cap sensors, because when we had the RTST, it's years ago, and they actually upgraded, I guess, a year ago.
Yeah.
So we'll put all new cap sensors. It'll still work with our existing monitor.
Yeah. And so basically for us, it's about if we start to have a tire issue, and let's say we run over a nail and the tire starts to lose pressure. When you lose pressure, your temperature of the tire is going to go up because there's more surface area of that tire on the ground, and creates more resistance, creates more heat. Then you can have a blowout. And so that's what a tire pressure monitoring system does. It alarms you as the issue starts to occur. So hopefully you have time to get off the road before that blowout occurs, and that's typically what happens.
Yeah, and even though our truck comes with, the internal sensor, and, on the dash it'll tell you if you're low in pressure, we're still going to put them on the truck because, like you mentioned, temperature is another indicator that there could be issues, and your truck's not going to tell you if your tires are running hot per se. Plus having that immediate alarm where if you're not paying attention to the panel. So we are actually putting them on the truck, even though they have an existing internal one that came with Ford, I guess, and the trailer. Yeah,
if the tire pressure goes low on the truck, it throws up this weird little yellow light. And I would rather it just alarm me
and let me know immediately.
Let's just get it over with, right?
Yes.
I got a problem.
Yes, and because our spare is going to be so critical, because we're choosing to be a little bit more remote, we'll probably put it on the spare as well, just to make sure we always have that ready. For
sure. Does you no good to have something telling you have low tire pressure if you don't have something to air your tires up with.
Correct.
So we will have the Viair on board. I've had the Viair 450. The Viair has a whole line of different models that are right for whatever your situation is, what kind of RV you have. I've always had the 450 model that's made for the big Class A's. I already own it. I'm not going to go get another one, so I'm just going to take that one with us. It's probably a little bit bigger than what I would normally have if I was just going and buying it new for a truck camper, but the 450 is an awesome one, and that's what we will be taking along with us.
And you're used to, technically we could probably get away with the 300, but you like all the extra accessories that come with the 400 and 450, like the gas style air gun and the extra hose and everything like that. So that'll be nice to have. Even though 450 is probably overkill, the extra accessories are going to be nice to have.
I like the extra accessories. Okay, I'm looking at my list here. Of course, we'll have a surge guard on board. We're hoping to be off the grid a lot more in the truck camper, but there will be times that we'll be plugging into shore power.
Yes.
And I don't care what RV we're in. We will never plug into power without an electrical protection system, and so we have the surge guard. So we'll be using the 34931.
Yeah, we're going to actually have to get a new one because it's a 30 amp and get the adapter to go in case we're at a 50 amp power.
Correct. So we'll have that on board. Oh, the level mate. Now this is actually something new that we have on at TechnoRV. It's not a new product, but TechnoRV, we're excited that we're kind of the exclusive retail seller of this, and so the Level Mate's been around for a bit, and a lot of people have been excited about this product for a long time. It helps the leveling process just to make it much easier. You can go watch one of our videos on it. But with the truck camper, I'm really excited to have the Level Mate on board because when we get to a location, you know, I don't have like jacks that are going to auto level me.
Right.
So I'm going to need to find a parking place if we're off grid or something that is the most level I can find.
Right.
So I can drive around looking at my Level Mate app and be like, oh, okay, maybe I'm only 2 or 3 inches off, you know, to my passenger side in this location.
Right, because the camper is going to stay on the truck the majority of the time. It's not like a travel trailer where you park it, you know, and it's going to be by itself. It's really going to be about finding where the truck is most level, which will be super helpful. Yeah,
and then I'll have me some form of blocks on board to where if I'm off just a little bit where I'm at, I can just run my truck tires up on it, get it level, and then if I do end up taking this off of the bed of the truck, then I can use the Level Mate to make sure it's level just sitting on its jacks.
Right.
And that's better for the jacks too, because the jacks don't always deploy
at the same time.
At the same rate, and so this will help me kind of keep them on track there. The rear observation camera, we use the VisionWorks camera. We looked for a good wireless system for years, and we refused to sell the other ones that were on the market because when we tested them, we just didn't feel like they were a good quality product.
Too much negative feedback on losing signal and some other things.
Pixelating and the quality of the picture.
And we're going to actually put a VisionWorks on the back of the camper itself in case we're not towing the trailer with it. But we're also going to put one on the back of the trailer because that will technically be our rear view mirror, since you obviously are not going to be able to see out of the rear view mirror anymore. It will allow you to see both monitors. It'll up to, I think, 4.
Yeah, it will.
4 cameras, so yeah.
And the Northern Light here, it actually came with a rear camera on it. It's a Furrion brand, and I'm swapping it out because I've heard too much feedback, and then when we tested, I'm not going to get into slamming another brand. I'm just saying that VisionWorks is the brand that you know I'm going to use because the clarity on the screen it's very brilliant, and the night vision is
spectacular.
Leaps and bounds above anything else I've ever seen. The wireless signal's awesome too. Yes. So if you're looking for a rear observation camera, they're the smart plug. So this comes with a twist style type plug for me to plug my electrical into if I'm plugging into shore power. And these twist lock style plugs, I don't like them.
I definitely don't like them. I don't want to say I don't have the patience for them, but yeah, I don't like the uncertainty of them. Are they connected? Is it tight enough? I don't
Did I twist it enough?
Right. You strip the little thingies
collar
out.
Strips out. And those twist lock style plugs, they were actually designed in manufacturing a lot of years back when people used to plug into like overhead plugs.
Really?
Yeah, it was a twist lock. You would twist it and then it would stay plugged in like vertically.
So it wouldn't fall out. Okay.
Yeah, and so somewhere along the way, the RV industry adopted
Let's
that.
use that.
and then that's kind of how that got started. But the smart plug is just a better design. It offers it's got thicker pins, so you have better electrical transfer, less heat on the plug.
And you are seeing the shift. I mean, when we were at the Tampa show earlier this year, I think Airstream now uses the smart plug exclusively. You're starting to see manufacturers move away from the twist style locks and go to the smart plug for all the reasons that you just mentioned.
Yeah, they're starting to realize maybe that wasn't a great idea, 50 years ago, just to adopt whatever was in the manufacturing plant. GPS.
Yes. So we use the Garmin 890 in the motorhome, and we will use it in the truck camper as well because Eric chose to make our truck a monster truck.
Well, it's got 37-inch tires with a 5.5-inch suspension lift. So
we're like 12 feet tall.
the truck camper's 12 feet, but with it on there, yeah.
So we're definitely going to have to pay attention to passes and tunnels and all that type of stuff. But the thing I'm enjoying about it now that because I've never had to look for propane stations because we never had propane on board with the motorhome. I've never had to look for laundromats. I've never had to look for dump stations. I've never had to look for any of those things that are going to be now important for me.
Yes.
So the points of interest in the Garmin, I've been kind of researching and looking. There's so many different points of interest for those type things.
And the iOverlander app?
The iOverlander app has that. It also has a lot of dispersed camping and places that you can get outside of campgrounds that we've never really utilized, but it's going to be nice to have all that together while still focusing on, hey, don't take me anywhere that's, shorter than 12 feet.
Yep. Love the Garmin. Okay, so the soft start for our AC unit. The truck camper has a 10,000 BTU. Our AC, our travel trailer, it's a 27-foot Forest River that we have. It has a 13.5 BTU AC, and then of course our motorhome has a 15,000 BTU. So this one's smaller. But with that said, we are going to install the soft start on it because with us being off grid, we may be at times running a 2,000 watt generator to run the AC if necessary. And
if it's hot at night, it's necessary.
Yeah.
Let's just say it.
So the soft start installed on the AC will virtually eliminate that spike, that amperage spike at startup when an AC kicks on. That's typically what will trip the breaker. And the soft start levels out that startup cycle to where you don't get that amperage spike. And the way that it does that is a typical RV, may take a sixth of a second or so to fire up. And to do that, it's got to have this big amperage spike, right? And so with the soft start, it just takes like maybe a third of a second, right? So
doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is.
Yeah, you would never tell.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to know it's all under a second, but it totally brings that amperage spike down to where if you're running off a 2,000 watt generator on a unit like this, that you'll be able to do that. I mean, they've got 2,200 watt generators, 25. I don't know which one we'll bring.
The smaller we can bring, the less weight it is and the less space it takes. So, everything in the truck camper and even smaller RVs are, go small.
What about propane safety? We didn't have propane in the Class A.
No, the motorhome was completely all electric. So our only experience with propane is the travel trailer, and we haven't done many trips in it, but it does have gas stop on it. But here we're going to be propane oven, propane heat. We've not done that since the fifth wheel, which was 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So that'll be a new addition to put 2 of the gas stops on the 2 propane tanks.
So the gas stop propane safety devices, basically they just connect right onto your propane tank, and then you take your propane line and connect it to the other side of this gas stop device, and it provides 100% automatic shut-off should you have some kind of leak like a line rupture or a line cut or something like that. And but it will allow enough flow for you, obviously, to do what you need to in your RV.
Makes sense.
So it really is covering you if there's, again, like a line cut or a rupture or something like that. And, this product is, 2-3 years old now. And man, it is so popular amongst RVers because it's not an expensive product.
No.
It's like, hey, if I can put this on here, and I'm guaranteed that it's going to
thing
cut
to
me
worry
off.
about,
One less thing to worry about. It's just more peace of
And
mind.
ours is in a bay, so we have plenty of clearance. We'll just be able to put the gas stops, 1 on each of the tanks. The Rockwood, we had to actually get the gas gear extension 90-degree hose because it fit under a cover that was really tight. And now we actually have the stainless braided hoses and rubber hoses online, but we won't have to use those on this.
We might.
Setup. You think so?
We'll have to see. I was looking at it the other day.
I figured we had enough space.
It's
but I guess
it's
not.
a pretty tight area in there. Maybe not, but maybe.
Okay.
Okay, staying connected on the road. We still got to stay connected
Yes.
because we work from time to time. And so the PepWave cellular router.
In the motorhome, we had the PepWave Max Transit Duo Cat 12 and the pointing antenna. We did a install video. Of course, we're leaving the antenna on the roof of the motorhome when we sell it. So the decision on which PepWave we're going to use, we're still looking at some. They've released some new ones recently, and we're kind of just evaluating what would be best for us. But we will definitely have a PepWave router, especially being out away from cell signal more. We're going to need
Yeah, we're
the
gonna
best.
we're gonna do
Yeah.
the PEP wave, and that's gonna cover us in most situations. And then we're gonna carry along a Boost Cellular Booster.
Right.
We'll probably do the one with the stationary boom directional antenna. That's not something we necessarily used on the big RV. We had just the omnidirectional, but I think with us getting way off grid, having that omnidirectional to kind of cut out the 360-degree noise
Right.
and have it just focus in one direction, I think that'll probably be better for us.
And I'm looking forward to just how those are all going to work together and making some videos on it, because staying connected, there's so many different ways you can do it, and everybody does it a little bit differently. So I think this will be a good learning experience for us this year on being really far from cell signal and what is the best way to
Yeah.
overcome that.
So that's everything we're putting on the truck camper, and I'll just do this one thing.
Nope.
What
You
is it?
forgot one thing.
What'd I forget?
We are putting the Berkey in the
Of course.
truck camper.
Did I not put that on my list?
No, you did not.
The travel Berkey. That should have been the #1 thing on there.
We are. There's counter space for it. We had it in the motorhome for a lot of reasons. First of all, we just like the water from it. Second of all, we don't have to carry water bottles with us, so that's less weight. It is portable, so I can move it, around.
We love the Berkey.
Yeah.
And with us being off grid a lot,
Don't be putting pond water. I know you're going to say,
I'm going
I
to
can
put
pond water in my
I'm going to put
Berkey.
pond water in it, and you're never going to know it because it's going to funnel through the Berkey, and it'll just be clean water to you. So anyway, so that's everything we're putting on there, and here's my I'll only do one sales pitch, right?
Okay.
Everything that I just said, it's all at TechnoRV.com.
Of course it is.
So if you're interested in any of that, you can go check it out. And then we have our customer service reps can answer questions for you. We've got a lot more videos on all this stuff. But
We are adding a few more things to not only the truck camper, but to TechnoRV in the upcoming months. And so that's going to be exciting to share.
yeah, we're in February of
there's a
22
few
right now.
things in the next couple months that will be added to this that is also going to
Well,
be
this
added
year
to
is going to
TechnoRV.
be, we're going to add a lot this year.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm excited about a couple of them
Yeah.
specifically.
Okay, that's it, everybody. We hope you are all being safe out there, and we will see you all down the road.